Hello and welcome back. In this lesson we're going to look at what's known as the display property. I've set this up as a starting point. As you can see, I've defaulted the margin and padding to 0 everywhere. I've created a body with a green border around the outside. And then I've given the paragraph elements just some basic settings for the text. It's sans serif and quite big at 48 pixels. And then I've created 3 paragraphs and given each its own individual color and called them box 1, box 2 and box 3. Now the property we're going to be looking at in this lesson is the display property, and it has a default value of block. So if I set block here, we'll see there's no change. And what block means is that each element starts on a new line. So these here, we can see these are stacked vertically. So each time I start a new paragraph, which is display block, the paragraph starts on a new line. And width and height are applied. So if, for instance, I say width 250 pixels and height 250 pixels, then these values are respected. And everything so far is exactly as we've seen it before, because the default value for display for a paragraph is indeed block. But block isn't the only value that display can take. Another value is inline. And inline has a very different meaning. And I'll just paste this in so you can see. Display inline means, well, first of all, elements will stay on the same line as other elements. So in this case, the elements are stacked horizontally, and also width and height are ignored. And so the element size is instead based purely on its content. Now there is a sort of halfway house value between these two, and this is known as Inline-Block. So if I change this to inline-block, we'll see that this is a sort of mixture of the two. So with display inline-block, well, it stays on the same line as other elements. We can see that they're stacked horizontally. But the elements width and height this time are applied. So we can see that they've retained the 250 width and height. And so it sort of behaves like a mixture of inline as far as being horizontal and block as well as sizing. Now there is one other value that we'll be looking at in this course, and that's called flex, which is also known as Flexbox. But I'm going to leave that for another lesson. And for now, I'll close this lesson and I'll see you in the next.